Good morning. Welcome to Sector Edge. NVIDIA is reporting after the close today. It's been the talk of the town for several weeks. We're going to talk about NVIDIA today. We're going to talk about semiconductors, the sector that NVIDIA is in and leading. We're going to talk a little bit about the five strongest sectors because there's been some changes. What we do is we take the five strongest sectors out of 45 sectors that comprise the stock market, and we post them at the top of the dashboard. I'm going to block out the right side of the dashboard because it shows all the latest articles and latest alerts from all of the other services that we have. I don't think that's fair. But I am still showing you a little sneak peek. Top five strongest sectors out of 45 groups. Notice that healthcare yesterday was replaced by utility electric. And healthcare was knocked down to number 8. Utility electric was number 3. But today it's up at the number 1 ranking. So utilities tend to be a safe haven sector. Now, I am ultra bullish on the market right now. It's not going to be led by NVIDIA. It's not going to be led by semiconductors, all right? So a lot of people are super bullish on NVIDIA right now. Don't be that person. Look, if you miss it, you miss it, all right? I know a lot of people that are not professional traders that are just, they love the stock market in general. A lot of them I know from their ex-Wall Street friends that they left Wall Street and they did other things. I know they have big positions in NVIDIA. I don't ask people, what their net worth is, but it seems to me that it's probably a significant chunk because I know these people. They like to play big. They're very confident on NVIDIA, and I don't think it's a good idea. First of all, the semiconductor sector looks like crap. Let's go to the sector relative strength matrix, and you'll see the 45 sectors that comprise the stock market. Semiconductors is all the way down to 43 out of 45. 43 out of 45. I'm going to click on semiconductors so you can see the history of the semiconductor sector ranking and the sector relative strength matrix. You see it's all the way down at the bottom. It's been at the bottom since the beginning of November. It really fell from graces at the end of October. And yeah, NVIDIA outperforms the semiconductor sector, but 80% of the reason any stock does what it does is because of the sector it's in. Why is semiconductors getting hammered so much? Why are they selling the semiconductor stocks for the last several weeks? NVIDIA is the leader of that group. Let's take a look at NVIDIA, NVDA. Again, they report after the close today. Everyone's excited about this. Probably have people that have big positions that they probably shouldn't be in. So you might want to consider lightening up your position on NVIDIA. Look, I've got my family owns it. I've got an open position in one of my services that recommends NVIDIA as a long-term position. I don't know. I'm not going to get out of it. The service that I have that owns NVIDIA, I say this every day to you guys, so let me just clarify. The service that I have, it's called Checkpoint Trader. And the whole point of the service is it's a risk management strategy. The number one most important thing when it comes to investing is risk management. And if you have a strong risk management strategy, you could be wrong more than you're right and still make a lot of money if you have the right risk management strategy. The way that we're set up with NVIDIA is if it does tank and then rally back up to where it was, it's actually good for the position. So the position will be up under certain circumstances. If the stock drops and then comes back to where it is, it's actually profitable for the position. So it really depends on your situation, right? You might have NVIDIA because it's balancing out something else. If you want some exposure to the semiconductor sector, somehow NVIDIA is a great way to do it. And here's why. The peer relative strength, so the strength of the stock compared to its peer group, semiconductors, is strong. It's outperforming the sector. It's outperforming the market. If you scroll down here, you'll see the top strongest stocks in the semiconductor sector. Look at NVIDIA. It's about the 5th one down out of 97 semiconductor stocks. All right, so it's one of the strongest ones. And if you're gonna be in semiconductor stocks, you probably want to be in these that are on your screen right now. If you want to screenshot that, go ahead. All right, they're the top 10 strongest. I use a sophisticated algorithm to determine which of the top 10 strongest. Long story short, and these are them. So you just got a sneak peek for free. If you're looking at the NVIDIA stock chart, pop it up here. This is on our platform. And you can see this recent spike yesterday. Look, the stock as far back as October was at 143. Yesterday, it went from 139 up to 147, and they made a big deal out of it. I feel like the media is overhyping NVIDIA. Look, if they did a 10-for-1 split, that's super exciting. It means nothing to you, the investor. A 10-for-1 split doesn't mean anything. That's for people who psychologically feel like they're able to buy more shares, so they have more upside. But that's bullshit. That's not true. You invest $10,000. How much does the stock appreciate in value? That's it. A split means nothing, but it's exciting, and they are the leader. I mean, an extraordinarily important sector, semiconductors, the brains of technology. And again, they're leading the charge. They had play a big part in Bitcoin mining, and CPU, and processing power, and video games, and virtual reality. They're an incredibly important company and an incredibly important sector. That doesn't mean that the stock has to do well. It's a fun story, which makes it dangerous. If you see the stock moving higher here, and as you see overall the volumes getting lower and lower, study price volume activity to understand why. That's actually a warning sign. It means the stock's moving higher, not because it's being pushed higher, it's because the bears are allowing it to go higher. They're allowing it to go higher because they want to sell at a higher price, right? So you're being fattened up for the kill. So be careful with NVIDIA. Going into the close today, look, you have all day today to lighten up on your position. You have all day today to hedge your position. Don't take as big of a bet on your position. Let me zoom in here. Let me show you what happened yesterday. See this big move higher? It looks really strong, right? But it's really on no volume. In fact, if you kind of squint your eyes and you look at the volume, how much green do you see? How much red do you see? The big days, the big volume days are red. That means the big volume is when the stock was down. Like see this day when the stock went down by a lot. Look at the volume, look at the downside days in terms of how big the candles are. They're big downside days. They start at the high of the day, they end at the low of the day, and it's on heavy volume. This thing is being distributed at high prices. I'm not making a call saying NVIDIA is going to go lower, all right? All I'm saying is that people are ultra hyped on NVIDIA, and they should stay humble. Keep it light. You don't need to be in the thing that everybody's talking about. In fact, when everybody's talking about it, that should be your first warning sign. You know, it's a crowded trade. That should be your first warning sign. I mean, it does not look good for NVIDIA, all right? It does not look good for NVIDIA. And that doesn't mean that the stock's not going to pop. It'll pop, fine. If it pops, great. You should compete in all these other semiconductor stocks. There's a lot of other things that are popping right now. I've been telling you to buy SoundHound. That thing is up almost 60% since I recently started telling you to buy it on these videos. AI popped like 25% yesterday. Robinhood is absolutely skyrocketing. There's a lot of great plays out there that you can be in the finance sector, in the bank sector. Anything financial is looking good. But anyway, getting back to the 5 strongest sectors, utility electric. Why is the safe haven sector jumping right up to the top of the rankings? I'm bullish on this market, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of the tale of two markets. You got the Magnificent Seven, where you got NVIDIA looking like garbage. Microsoft looks bad. At least Microsoft's in the software sector. It's ranked number 5, right? If we go to Microsoft, if you look at the stock, though, MSFT, it looks disgusting. It looks ugly. It looks like it wants to drop, right? If you want to be in the software sector, be in one of these software stocks. But Microsoft is not one you want to be in. Look at the heavy volume selling. Look at these big red bars. Again, you're going to want to watch my video on price volume behavior, right? It's one of the most valuable videos you can possibly watch. Actually, it's, I think, my most popular video on this channel, Chris Rowe Show on YouTube. Okay, you see this big drop here. It looks ugly. It's not getting any lift off with a market that's breaking highs. So the tale of two markets, again, that Magnificent Seven story, it's ugly, all right? If you're buying yesterday's winners, the pre-election winners, the winners of the past, you might be in for some major FOMO, all right? Well, FOMO is fear of missing out, pain from missing out. Pain of missing out, POMO, I don't know. You might want to lighten up on your semiconductor stocks in general. NVIDIA is outperforming. If you're going to be in semis, maybe NVIDIA, but it just doesn't look too good. I showed you a bunch of other semiconductors. We looked at the top 5 strongest sectors here. Note that utility electric is ranked number 1. All right, so these are the strongest electric utility stocks you can be in if you want to screenshot that or pause your screen or whatever you want to do. Why is it that you have a safe haven sector shooting right up to the top? Why is it that out of 45 groups, 19 have demand and control and 26 sectors have supply and control? To me, this looks like a very strong stock market, but for certain reasons. But this just looks like we're preparing for a pullback. You got to listen to the data. You'll see it in the price behavior before you see it in the news. If you're long a lot of NVIDIA, you might want to lighten up on that position. If you get out of it or if you lighten it, if you're lighting up on it and the stock pops after the close, don't get mad at me, all right? Don't get mad at me. I'm going to save the day more than I'm going to ruin your day, all right? But anyway, check the price volume behavior video next. It's on the Chris Rowe Show or Chris Rowe Show on YouTube. This has been Sector Edge. I'll see you tomorrow.